Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you right now. A man can hide his words. He can hide behind pride. He can even hide behind silence. But when he misses you, oh, he's going to slip up. See, missing someone isn't something you can control. That's not a tactic. That's not a choice. That's the heart speaking louder than the ego. You ever notice how people try so hard to act unbothered? Post the pictures, show the smiles, play the cool game, but deep inside, that absence gnaws at them. And when it gnaws long enough, it shows. He'll break his own rules. He'll stumble. He'll reach out without even planning to. That's the truth about men. We're masters at pretending until feelings take over. So if you're sitting there wondering, does he even think about me? Does he even care? Listen closely because the signs don't appear in the words he says. They appear in the slips he can't hide. And when a man misses you, trust me, those slips are coming. He breaks his own silence. Let me explain something about men in silence. Every man, when he's trying to prove a point, when he's trying to protect his pride, tells himself one thing: I'm not calling her. I'm not reaching out. I'm done. He'll sit there acting like he's the most disciplined, most unbothered man alive. He'll puff his chest, show his friends he's strong, repeat over and over, I'm not making the first move. But here's the truth. Silence is the first wall to crumble when a man truly misses a woman. Because missing someone isn't a strategy. It's not a plan. It's not even a choice. It's a pressure that builds. It's those late nights when the phone is right there on the pillow and his mind won't stop racing. It's that morning when he wakes up expecting a message from you, only to realize it's not coming. That right there is when the silence starts breaking him from the inside. See, a man thinks he's in control. He believes he can out-stubborn his own emotions. But emotions are louder than pride. Missing someone is like holding your breath underwater. You can do it for a while, but eventually you have to come up for air. And when he comes up, that silence is the first thing to go. Watch how it happens. At first, he'll fight it. He'll scroll through old messages, stop himself from typing. He'll open your social media page, stare at your pictures, then close it fast like he wasn't just there for 20 minutes. He'll even type a text. Hey, how have you been? Then erase it, telling himself, nope, not doing it. But missing you is a battle inside his mind. And when he starts losing that battle, he slips. He presses send. He dials your number. He breaks the very silence he swore he'd never break. And when that happens, it's not because he's weak. It's because you mattered. You left a mark on his soul that his ego couldn't erase. Silence works fine when feelings are shallow. But when the love, the chemistry, the memories run deep, silence becomes unbearable. That's when the slip-ups begin. Sometimes it won't even be a direct call. Sometimes it's subtle. He'll send a meme at 1 a.m. like that's innocent. He'll accidentally call and then say, must have pocket dialed. He'll send a random text about something meaningless just to see if you respond. But understand this, a man who truly doesn't care doesn't reach out at all. When he breaks his silence, it's his heart taking over, even while his pride is screaming in the back seat. Here's what women need to understand. Don't confuse silence with indifference. Silence is often a mask. It's a cover men wear to avoid showing vulnerability. Men are taught young, don't be soft, don't show weakness, don't let her know you care too much. So they go quiet, thinking that's strength. But when you've touched a man's spirit, when you're on his mind day after day, that silence cracks. It can't last forever, and it rarely happens at the times you expect. It's not when you're sitting by the phone waiting. It's not when you're posting your best pictures hoping he notices. No, it's when you're living your day, when you've stopped checking, when you're finally at peace. That's when it hits him the hardest, because silence cuts both ways. Your absence echoes. And men don't say it out loud, but they feel it louder than you think. That's why when he finally breaks his silence, it's more than a message or a call. It's proof. Proof that no matter how hard he tried to hold back, no matter how much he tried to play tough, you were still there, living rent-free in his head and heart. That's why the text appears. That's why the call comes. That's why a random just checking on you message pops up out of nowhere. It's not coincidence. It's not casual. It's the first crack in the wall he built to keep you out. Understand this. A man breaking his silence isn't just about talking. It's about revealing where his heart truly is. It shows that pride has limits, but love and longing don't. He shows up where you are. Now let me break it down. When a man truly starts missing you, he doesn't always come out and say it. Oh no, that would be too simple, too vulnerable. A man's pride won't let him pick up the phone and confess, I miss you. I need to see you. Instead, he'll try to play it cool. He convinces himself he's strong enough to keep the silence going. But here's what really happens. His heart pulls him back into your world. He starts showing up where you are. He'll act like it's a coincidence, but you know better. When a man misses you, he craves your presence, even if he can't say it. He wants that energy again, that comfort, that connection. And sometimes the only way he knows to feed that craving without admitting it is by putting himself in your orbit. That's when you see him popping up in places he never used to be. Suddenly, he's at the cafe you love, standing in line like it's a normal Tuesday. Suddenly, he's around when your friends invite you somewhere. Maybe it's digital. Suddenly, he's in your comments, liking your posts, watching your stories the moment you put them up. Here's the truth. Men don't put themselves where they don't want to be. If he's present, it's intentional. If he's around you, it's because he's drawn there. When you see him circling your world, showing up in your spaces, that's not an accident. That's him slipping. That's his heart saying, I can't stay away. And it's never subtle for long. At first, maybe it's a random like on an old picture, then a comment on something funny you posted. Next, he's sliding into group hangouts, making excuses to be near you. And when you look at him, he acts casual. He shrugs, oh, I didn't know you'd be here. But he knew. He knew. Missing you pushes him out of hiding and into your view, because presence is how he feeds what silence starved. Think about it. When someone doesn't matter to us, we don't chase after their shadow. We don't search for their company. But when someone's absence weighs on us, you find yourself pulled back, even when you promised yourself you wouldn't go. That's what happens to a man who has been trying to resist, but he can't fight the pull anymore. He shows up. He chooses to be where you are, because being near you, even in small ways, feels better than staying stuck in that lonely pride. And don't be fooled by the act. Sometimes he won't come straight to you. He'll linger, hover, wait for the moment you notice him. He'll act like it was a coincidence, that he just happened to be there. But men don't move like that by accident. If he's back in your world, it's because his heart guided him there. His actions reveal the truth even if his words stay silent. What makes it clearer is the timing. He doesn't appear when everything between you is easy, when communication is open. He comes after distance, after quiet, after he's tried to stay away. That's when the slip happens. Because you don't go looking for someone you've forgotten. You don't stand in places tied to someone you don't think about. You only do that when the pull is too strong to ignore. A man missing you will use presence as his confession. He may not say it outright, but he'll put himself where you can feel it. It's his way of saying, I still care. I still notice. I still want to be near you. And he'll keep doing it until you see the pattern. His pride may block him from speaking, but it can't stop him from showing. And when he shows up where you are, you'll know without a doubt that the silence broke him, that the distance reached him, and his heart brought him right back to you. He brings up old memories when he misses you. One of the first signs is through the past. He might not say, I miss you. He might not even have the courage to admit how strong the feelings still are. But pay attention to the words he chooses, because if he brings up old memories, it's not random. That's his heart revealing itself. Men are simple in this way. We don't revisit things that don't matter. We don't rewind the past on meaningless moments. If it didn't touch us, if it didn't leave a mark, we let it fade. But when a man can't stop himself from mentioning those little pieces of history, an inside joke, a road trip, a time you laughed until your stomach hurt, that means those moments never left him. He's still carrying them. And when he brings them up, what he's really saying is, I want to feel that again. It might start small. Maybe he sends a text. Remember that restaurant with the crazy waiter? Or maybe he casually drops it into conversation. I was driving by that place we always went to, and it made me think of you. It might sound light, harmless, but dig deeper. That's not just chatter. That's a confession wrapped in nostalgia. That's a man reaching into the only place he still feels connected to you. Because when the present feels empty, the past becomes comfort. A man who misses you will try to relive the good times, even just in words. Those memories are his way of keeping you close without admitting how much he wishes you still were. He doesn't just want to remember them. He wants you to remember too. He wants to spark the same feeling in you, to remind you of what you shared because deep down, he hopes you'll feel the tug he feels. Men don't waste energy on this unless it mattered. Think about it. How many people have passed through his life without leaving a trace? Plenty. But you're still echoing in his thoughts. You're still tied to places, songs, foods, jokes, experiences. That's why he brings it up. It's not boredom. It's not running out of things to say. Missing you took him back to the one thing that soothes him, the memory of when he had you. Pay attention to how he does it. Sometimes it's deliberate, like he wants to see your reaction. Other times it slips out without planning, like he can't help himself. Maybe he's laughing with friends and says, "She used to say this all the time." Or maybe he's talking to you and suddenly he's deep in a story that meant the world to him. That's when you know the heart is leading the conversation, not the mind. The truth is, when a man brings up old memories, he's not just reminiscing, he's reaching for the connection, reaching for how you made him feel, for the safety and joy that came with you. Even if he won't admit it, that's his way of testing the waters. He wants to see if you remember too. He wants to know if you smile at the thought, if you laugh at the story, if you still carry those pieces like he does. If you do, there's hope in his heart. Sometimes the memories aren't the big ones, not anniversaries or vacations. They're the small moments, the random Tuesday night cooking together, falling asleep on the couch, the little teasing moments. Those stick. They linger when someone truly mattered. The small moments that seemed ordinary then feel extraordinary now that they're gone. That's where the truth lies. So when he starts bringing up old memories, understand what's happening. His pride may be intact, his words guarded, but his heart shows you exactly where it still resides. No man revisits the past this often unless he wants to write the same story again. He watches you closer than he admits. He may not say a word, but he's watching. Don't get it twisted. He'll act busy, like he moved on, like you're not on his mind. But beneath the surface, behind closed doors late at night, he keeps up with you closer than he'll ever admit. The silence he keeps isn't the whole story. His eyes tell what his pride won't. Men are funny this way. We swear we don't care, but we scroll through every post. We act done, but we check if you're online. We stay quiet, but we notice who you're with, where you are, what you do. You might think, if he's not talking to me, I'm off his radar. Wrong. That's when you're most on it. Missing you makes you the measure for everything else. Most women don't realize men are natural observers when invested. A man who doesn't care won't notice anything. He won't see a hair change, a new style, or a shift in energy. But a man who misses you notices details you don't realize you're showing. The glow when you're happy, the shift when you're guarded, the confidence when you've leveled up. Even if unspoken, He's watching because he feels connected. And it's not always obvious. Sometimes it's subtle, almost sneaky. He might not like your posts, but he's in the views. He might not text, but he observes your comments, your circles, your energy. He convinces himself it's curiosity. I just want to see how she's doing. But curiosity doesn't check in this often. Curiosity doesn't track patterns. This is missing you, longing in disguise. Men are wired to want control. He might not have closeness he used to, but watching from a distance gives him a sense of connection. It feeds the part of him that's hungry. He can't call you without swallowing pride. So he observes from afar, keeps updated, pays attention. Even if he can't be part of your life directly, he can't stand not knowing his place in it. Watching becomes his coping, a substitute for having you. Every picture, story, every update is a breadcrumb trail he follows, hoping to feel some closeness again. Irony is the more he watches, the more he misses you. Seeing you glow, seeing you move forward, seeing you shine without him, it hurts. It stirs something inside him. And that's when the slip happens. That's when he can't just observe anymore, and he breaks the silence. But until that moment, understand this. If he's missing you, his eyes will give him away. He may pretend he's moved on, but his attention remains fixed. And whether he admits it or not, the fact that he's still watching tells you everything you need to know. He may let go of the words, but he can't let go of you. That's why in the quiet moments when you think you're forgotten, that man is right there, observing closer than he'll ever admit. He makes excuses to reconnect. When a man starts missing you, here's what happens. He begins inventing reasons, little justifications, small pathways just to get back into your space. He might not come straight out and say, I miss you, I need you, I want to talk. His pride won't let him be that vulnerable, but the urge to connect won't stay hidden forever. So what does he do? He creates moments. He finds excuses. He might present them casually, but underneath, it's his way of saying, I can't stay away. These excuses can take many forms. Sometimes it's practical. Do you still have that book I lent you? Or, I was just checking on that thing we discussed months ago. Sometimes it's playful. Remember when we used to argue about who makes the best pasta? I had some today and I thought of you. Sometimes it's flimsy. I was in your neighborhood, thought I'd say hi. The excuse itself doesn't matter. What matters is the motive. He's searching for a reason to get close again. And if you look carefully, you'll see right through it. Here's the truth. Men don't chase what they don't want. We don't invest effort where our heart isn't involved. If he's reaching, even in small ways, it means the silence is too loud for him. It means the distance is eating at him. He can't tolerate being cut off from your energy any longer. So he searches for a thread to grab onto, something light enough to hide his vulnerability, but strong enough to pull him back into your life. You can always tell when it's more than coincidence because it won't happen just once. Once he breaks that wall, the little excuses start adding up. He might accidentally call you when he meant to call someone else. He'll send a random message, then follow it with, "Since I have you, how have you been?" He keeps creating these points of contact, each one slightly more obvious than the last, until the truth becomes clear. That man is trying to reconnect without saying the words. A man won't risk his ego unless the pull is strong. He could stay silent. He could move on. He could bury the feeling. But when missing you takes over, he can't just sit with it. He'll find ways to close the distance, even if disguised as small talk. In his mind, a small excuse is safer than a big confession. It's a way to protect his pride while still feeding his heart. It's not always about words. Sometimes the excuses come through actions. He might offer help out of nowhere. Need me to fix that? Or need me to drop something off? He shows up for reasons that don't always make sense, just because being near you feels better than being without you. That's when you know it's not coincidence. It's not convenience, it's intentional. That man is engineering a way back into your world. Excuses reveal what's really happening inside. Think about it. If you didn't matter, he wouldn't need a reason. He wouldn't invent anything. He'd let the silence remain. But when he can't stand the quiet, he starts searching for cracks in the wall. That's when he tests, reaches, builds bridges out of the smallest words, hoping you'll let him cross. And don't overlook the pattern. Men don't go out of their way like this for nothing. Every small excuse is his heart saying, I'm not done. I still feel this. I still want to be connected to you. The longer he keeps making them, the clearer it becomes. He's not just passing through, he's trying to find his way back. So when you see these excuses appear, understand what they are. They aren't casual. They aren't accidental. They're quiet slips of a man missing you more than his pride will allow him to admit. He can disguise it however he wants, but deep down, every excuse is a confession in disguise. A confession that he still wants you, still needs that connection, and hasn't let you go. When a man is really missing you, he won't always come out and say it. Pride won't allow it. Vulnerability feels too risky. But missing you builds pressure inside him, and eventually that pressure finds a way out. Most men handle it by making excuses to connect. They find little reason, sometimes weak, sometimes random, sometimes almost laughable, just to reopen the door. It might start small. Hey, do you still have that hoodie of mine? Or, I just remembered that restaurant you used to love. He acts casual, as if he just happened to think of it. But deep down, you know it's intentional. He's searching for any reason to hear your voice, get a response, feel your presence again. It doesn't stop at one excuse. Once he finds a small crack in the silence, he tries again. Maybe it's a silly text. Maybe it's a favor he offers. Maybe it's pretending he accidentally called you. Each excuse becomes a safety net, a way to reach for connection without admitting the truth. If he said, I miss you, he risks rejection. But if he says, just wondering if you still have that thing, he protects his pride while feeding his heart. The excuses themselves aren't important. What matters is the effort. A man who doesn't care won't invent reasons. He won't put himself out there. He'll let silence stand. But when he's missing you, he can't stay still in that quiet. He must break it somehow, even if clumsy or transparent.